I can do that. I can actually make my own stories.
Filmmaking is not working.
I actually specialize in sports photography at the moment.
Do you guys feel
I
like
don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you
I
wanna
grew
play
up
tough
in
and wanna
Johannesburg,
hate this,
so I'm a
I'll
city
always
girl.
show up and
So I
make a
love entertainment.
Everything I
you
do
were
so
able
instinctive
to,
and so passionate.
you know,
Every word I
leave your
move so
partner's thoughts? I
descriptive
think
like an
that would be
adjective. I
dope.
got a vendetta.
It's like we're
against
trying to
you.
fix the
Being
basics. We
negative
don't even
when
get
you
to
should be
do
getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams is a modestness. Something to say today, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it. I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages, a vacant modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been
So
through
I'm
hell,
actually
I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
company that aims to
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Start. So I specialize in directing, but I do photography as well. I'm also a visual artist, very much a creative. I just want to get voices heard out there. I'm very emotion driven, so that's kind of what I specialize in, more or less. New things coming soon. At the moment, I'm freelancing. I'm here, I'm there, but yeah, we're both studying at the moment, so it's also that. Yeah.
Speaking about studying, you guys are doing your honors.
Yes.
Okay. Scholars. So where does the love bug for filmmaking, get you guys? Azwi?
For me, it started when I was in primary school. So I grew up in Messina in Limpopo, which is a very small town by the Zimbabwean border. And not a lot of people know about it. And it's that town where nothing happens, nothing exciting happens. You're born there, you stay there. And I really loved media, entertainment, watching Mubango, hearing my home language on screen, I'm Venda. So I really loved the escape that film would provide. And then I realized I can do that. I can actually make my own stories. And I was literally blown away by that revolution. I got the revolution in high school and I decided, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. But obviously coming from a town where you can either be a doctor, lawyer, failure. So it was a difficult journey, but we pushed through and yeah, I'm enjoying it. And it's just the love that I get to help shape the narrative of how the world sees things. I get to create that same experience for other children out there. That is very exciting to me. And it feels like just letting my inner child play. Like literally directing Love Economy was just a chance to just go crazy. Like, what if we have a flying kusheshe? What if let's go with it, Yes.
In for you, Jaclynn?
So for me, I've grown up in a house where it was very creatively open. So my parents have 9-to-5 jobs, but they're also very creative. My mom did photography as a hobby, so she'd always put a camera in my hand and things like that. Then going into high school, at first I wanted to be a vet. Imagine me as a vet. If you're really deep, I don't think I could see that, but I didn't know what I was going to do for a while, but I realized I love this camera a lot and you can capture things. Then it goes to me watching music videos. I'm a very big music person, but then I can't find a music video for a certain song, so I would imagine one. And I realized I could do that if I wanted to. I could sit there, make up my own concepts for these music videos, have it go the way exactly I wanted. And then I decided, why not just do all the like, what is it, like ventures of filming, whether it be, so I actually specialize in sports photography at the moment. And then I like to do films, and then hopefully one day I can reach into music videos eventually. So it's very much all there, and it only comes from my parents showing me all these things. My dad's a huge movie person, so I'd sit and watch movies with him all the time. He raised me on that. So yeah, there's why I'm where I am. It's very everywhere, but I think it all grew. It grew inside of me to be who I am now.
You mentioned something like something very profound, right? That every artist or filmmaker, needs to hone, which is their imagination, right?
Yes.
So as you are narrating like your story, it looks like you're raised in a filmmaking environment.
Yes.
Right. So if filmmaking was not working, were you gonna be a vet?
No. Again, like I am an artist, so I don't think if I went to where we're studying now and doing these things, I would have probably gone into art history and done that because I loved that so much. So I would have still been in the creative like fields. I don't think I'm put up for a proper 9-to-5 job or anything like that. My mom is great with numbers. I can't even count properly. So I think I would have still been around these different things. Again, I also love music. I would have probably touched something there, but it all comes into like one big little bubble in my head. It's all the same, not the same thing, but it's something, it's got to do with the imagination. It's got to do with narratives. I mean, when I studied art history, it's all got a narrative. You explain for a full page in high school for 8 marks about what is going on here and what it means. It's the exact same thing you do in film. So, yeah.
And Azwi, for you, if it doesn't work, did you, do you have a plan B if this doesn't work? Did you imagine if you do something else? Or
coming from a conservative family, I had to have a plan A, which was something else, and then plan B was filmmaking. I had to have that. But in the eyes of, like, to me, film was always my plan A. It was that or nothing, because even when it came to university applications, I did apply, and that was it's something that didn't make sense to my community, because they had this conception that if you're going into the arts, it's because you're not good academically. And then I was performing well academically, and I'm still saying I want to go do theater, I want to go act, I want to direct film. So it didn't really make sense to them. So I had applied to different things. One health science related degree as well that I got accepted to. So it was very difficult for my parents to understand that I have these offers for something that is more solid, and I'm choosing to go into a life of uncertainty, because we also have to be honest about what it's like to be a filmmaker, that it's not really uncertain with the strikes going on. Yeah, there's a lot happening in the film industry. It's not very certain, but there's an opportunity in that we get to almost play a role in forming what the next generation sees. So just seeing that gap made me excited. So I went all in for it. So I don't think there was ever another thing that I'll do, because I've had to fight for film.
So would you say, like, coming from a conservative family, right? Were your parents supportive?
now they are supportive. But funny enough, my dad was the original filmmaker because he'd have of those big cameras that he'd carry for like birthdays, and he's in the health space. So it didn't really like make sense to him that this could be a job, because to him it was just a hobby that you do at home. How can you monetize that? But now they're very supportive. I'm very grateful for that. But it wasn't always easy. It wasn't always, not gonna sugarcoat it, because I think it's also important for other children out there who are living in these communities and they feel like they're misunderstood to understand that there is a way. Even if no one is supporting you, you're gonna be okay. You're going to be the first, but it's going to be okay, and people will follow. You'll be surprised. Yeah.
Jaclynn, for you, what was the conversation like, about you pursuing film with your parents?
I don't think it was that hard, honestly. I think because I actually only applied to do film. I didn't look into anything else. I didn't get accepted anywhere else. Nothing like that. Like, I just kind of was like... I don't know. For me, I have this mindset of it is going to work out. So that's why I only tested for one. At first, I do remember I went for my first open day when I was in grade 11. So that's a whole year and a half before I actually got to university. And my mom was like, because I've always grown up in the entertainment industry, funny enough, I come from, like, my parents come from farms and things like that, like the boer and all that. But I grew up in Johannesburg, so I'm a city girl. So I love entertainment. I love to know what, the Kardashians are doing, what's going on, why is people fighting, like, over, like, TV, reality TV. Like, I've always been interested in that and just social media overall. So I told my mom, no, we're going for the open day, me and my dad. And she was like, but, like, they're film. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll look more into it. And then she looked into it, took it to an open day the next year. She was like, oh, this is nice. So it really wasn't that difficult. I do kind of have to say that, like, I'm pretty sure my cousins and people like that don't really know, because they're going into, like, agriculture and dentistry, and then you have this random cousin who's doing film, and she releases a film, and it's at Ster-Keniko one day, and, like, it's very random, but I've been like supported throughout all of it. They've just let me do what I needed to do. They knew I'm not an academic.
You're not cut out for, like,
exactly,
for agriculture and working on the farm,
like,
and all that stuff.
Even in school, I failed maths. I couldn't do that. I didn't get high marks except for one subject, and that was, we only had arts. We didn't have drama, theater, or really anything. And I was only good at that, and that's when they noticed, like, we can't force her into being a doctor or anything like this. She's not going to enjoy it. And I'm a very, very loud child. I would be in their ears like this the whole time, just telling them, like, I'm bored, I'm tired, I can't do this. So I think they just kind of accepted it and let it, happen.
Interesting. And let's come to love economy. Where does the idea come from? Who came up with the idea?
So we're given scripts that we develop on.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. So Love Economy was this totally different story, but with the key little small things that we developed to our own. We eventually had a week where we got to develop it, just us, the writer, and a producer with us. And we were like, we could make this into something it's futuristic, but it's also very South African at the same time. The original script was in the middle of Rosebank, and it was pretty modern day. We shot it into the future by a lot. There was supposed to be an app, not a love meter, and all this. So it was it was a long process.
Yeah,
hey, we nearly had, the whole thing was nearly a wedding. Like, I think that was one of my favorite things to look back on, is how we nearly strayed very far away from the original concept. But then we came to this, like, and we started developing on it, and we were just adding in these small things, like our little dog, the little car, which was pitched. Bobby, our little dog, it's a little Pomeranian. And then we have the flying car, which was actually pitched by the VFX, like, students that we have. And Yeah, it was a long process though. The lecturers were fighting us.
Yeah, but it stemmed from a place of wanting to see something new, something fresh, because we felt like a lot of the stories that were coming out from our peers were all the same, very like drama, melodrama, that's it. We're like, okay, what would like South Africa look like if we dared to dream big? If we, because I feel like as a society right now, we are too busy trying to fix basic issues like access to water, which should be a basic need, that we're not actually thinking into the future. Like in 2016, where did we think we would be by 2026? Like everybody had this big idea, we're gonna have robots walking around, but we're still here, no water. And it's like we're trying to fix the basics, but we don't even get to dream big. So it was us pushing ourselves to say, what do we think the world would look like if we weren't so fixated on fixing basic human needs? Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'd like to ask a question, right?
Yes.
So in the film, there is a scene where the guy is in the car with the lady, and it was as though you guys said you guys were shooting in Rosebank, right? Or
The original concept
Originally.
was that.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
where were you guys shooting?
In Sandton, location-wise.
Location-wise.
Yes.
Okay, so that home was in Sandton.
It was actually not a home. It's
Yes.
a showroom.
Is it?
Yes,
we
we
shot in a
Yes.
showroom
We had
and
to
made
be
it look
very
like a house.
creative because we're working on a very limited budget. So we went to Pascal's kitchen and we talked to them. We're like, okay, you have these modern kitchens. They fit what we
Yes.
want. How can we work this out? And they said, well, we have viewings during the day, so you can't shoot during the day. So if you want to shoot here, overnight. So we had to shoot night for day.
But I must say also, with the kitchen, it looked very matured for that character, right?
Yeah.
And also the reason why I was asking with the location, because the car scene, it's as though it's shot in studio.
Really? I think
That
it's
one
the
that was-
VFX
that
of
has
it.
Yeah.
moving clouds.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
I wanted to understand, why wouldn't you guys shoot it in
Oh, yes.
We quite literally, so
Yeah.
we have our paddle scenes, right? So we shot that the same day on a piece of ground on the side. And oh my word, we also, dare I say, struggled with the wind, with our reflectors and our green screens, but we shot it on the same day. It was like almost chronological, if I'm not mistaken.
But the main difficulty was access to locations because we had to cheat a lot of things.
Yeah.
There was a limit to how many locations we could have, and then budget because we have people coming from different places. Overnight shoots, 12-hour turnover that we want to respect, so we have people that can stand the next day. We're shooting back to back.
Yeah.
So it was a thing of getting people, some people are in Krugersdorp, getting them from Krugersdorp to Sandton, and then we did have a studio scene. We shot it in the studio, but that was actually filmed by at the pedal scene, like Jaclynn was saying, because we couldn't move around. So it
Yeah.
went down to like the technicalities
Logistics.
of the scheduling, that can we afford to go back to this place just to shoot that one scene. Yeah.
Just to put you guys at ease,
Yeah.
it's not just a student thing.
Yeah.
Even outside in the industry, we do have those
Yeah.
Krugersdorp to
Yes,
Sandton
yes.
locations, So, yeah, but thank you very much for answering the question. You may take over.
So with what you just said, right? Didn't you guys feel like you were being too ambitious, right? With tackling the sci-fi.
Yeah.
We were
Definitely.
everyone judged us.
We judged ourselves.
We did as well, but it was so nice to actually. A lot of our lecturers were thinking we were thinking too much, and we were like, let's push harder. Let's see what we need to not prove ourselves to them, but prove them wrong. We need to show that we can do this at this level, even though you think we can't. It was a lot of fun to like eventually go from you can't do this concept, it's way too hard, to this works really well, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that right now, because Love Economy as the director, but now I'm producing another sci-fi, and it's even more complicated, and now it's from a producer standpoint, and everybody's like girl, are you crazy attaching yourself to this project? Because why would you put yourself through that as a producer? It's also Afrofuturistic. But I'm like, yeah, it's crazy, but I'm going to do it. So I feel like it's just one of those things that just because it's crazy, ambitious, because it's pushing you. When you get used to pushing yourself, then it becomes a habit and you're able to reimagine the projects you can make.
It's funny enough, I'm also doing a sci-fi next.
Girl, you guys are like sci-fi nerds.
Yeah, at this point, that might just be our brand. Yeah.
And what are your top 3 sci-fi films?
Wow, I could stay a really long time when we speak about top films. Can I look at my letterbox while she answers?
Oh my word.
Okay.
The letterbox.
Hey, leave me alone.
Okay, this one is kind of cheating, but hear me out. Wakanda Forever, Black Panther. That's why I said it's cheating. But still, Wakanda Forever was just like, oh my word, the soundscape of it was so amazing. Okay, but Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, and Chappie. Chappie is an OG, guys.
Chappie.
I feel like it's amazing. Chappie is amazing because it isn't the sci-fi you'd imagine it to be in terms of like the quality of it. But I feel like it's not about that. Like we were having a conversation earlier about how it's about story. Story is at the core of it. And it's just so funny and like, it's amazing. I love Chappie. Yeah.
I need to watch Chappie still, actually.
It's amazing.
I've heard a lot about it. So I'm looking at these. So we actually spoke about this earlier, but so Avatar, that's my sister's fault.
The original.
I think so, but I revisited the second one recently and I was like, damn, like this is really good. But I think the original has so much humanity to it because it's this guy who goes from humanity and realizes that they are ruining everything and tries to help, these aliens. Not actually aliens. For people listening, I've got a little...
Before you get cancelled.
Yeah, before I get cancelled. But yeah, and he helps them and he decides to stay with them because he sees how much beauty there is out there. I think next would have to be... Does Interstellar count?
Yeah.
I recently, I think in the past years, I finally watched it. I cried 3 times.
Valid.
3 times. Oh my word, that tore me. And I love movies that doesn't just show, it isn't just emotion based, but there's underlying, and that's one thing that got me. Oh my word, I will cry to a movie, One Thing About Me. Then I think let's choose a third one. Tron.
Yeah.
Tron.
That was your
Again, my
reference
sister's,
for the
yeah.
poster.
Actually, yeah, it was my reference for the poster, but again, my sister, she used to watch it a lot, so I'd watch it a lot, and I think it's one of the best visual films in a different world out there as well. Oh, I'm obsessed. It's so bright. It's so colorful. It's so pretty. And yeah, as we spoke about earlier, narrative-wise, ignore that, but it's otherwise one of the best visual films in my opinion.
That's interesting. That's so interesting. The films that you guys mentioned, and as we coming from Limpopo, right? This question just slipped my mind.
It's fine.
Okay, while he's still thinking about that, maybe let's name top 3 favorite directors.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I'm sure James Cameron is there.
No, not really.
Not really.
He is amazing. Hear me out. But my directors change often. At the moment, I've got, correct me, don't cancel me, Yorgos Lanthimos. I watched a lot of his films now in this break. Begonia. And it was also Poor Things. And I think he is so interesting because these movies are kind of disgusting. They're gross. But they have, one thing that bothers me lately about some filmmakers and things like that is they can't see art for what it is. Like, there was an outrage over, let's bring up Saltburn. There was an outrage on how it was probably one of the worst things they've ever seen. And I was like, you are just touching the surface. You need to get in a bit more, That's my opinion on that. But I found that in him, and I found it very intriguing. I've also got Mark Webb, which is, let me explain quickly. Sorry, I'm taking time, but so one of my all-time favorite movies is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then I watched 500 Days of Summer about 3 years ago. And I found out it was done by the same guy. You go from Spider-Man to such an emotional, I wouldn't call it a love story. And I was like, this man can really touch on different things. They're both very emotional films, but in different ways. Can you tell I like emotions? I don't know. But he touched on them in such ways. And he's also a music video director. And I've watched some of those, and they're some of my favorite songs. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, he's able to just go everywhere and still bring out the same things. And then my third and final one is, correct me if I'm not saying it right, Luca, the challenges guy, Luca Goody. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to embarrass myself. But he did challenges, Call Me By Your Name. Let me just quickly see. Luca Goody. Okay, no, I'm not going to try.
I'm not.
I don't think anyone can pronounce it. He's Italian.
Oh, okay.
He also did Bones and All, Queer, After the Hunt. He's more of an aesthetic type of guy. And I really love challenges. I love the film work. I love the colors. It's also something I reference a lot in all my papers because there are so many different things you can bring out from it. But yeah, there's mine.
And you, Azwi?
Mine would be, okay, this doesn't mean I necessarily like all their films, but it's like they're one of the key people that I look to in terms of how they direct talent, blocking, and biggest of all, cinematic language, because I think in pictures. So, yeah. Wes Anderson, Sam Levinson, Thabang Moleya. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your list varies.
It does.
Yeah,
it's very different.
Yeah,
it's very different.
It's very different.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like sci-fi, why sci-fi? What is it about sci-fi that, as a genre, that draw you guys to it as opposed to the other ones?
For me, it was the Afrofuturistic lens, like as a subgenre, because I feel like that isn't really explored right now. Like, what does an Africa that can sustain herself look like? So, yeah, I'm just very interested in that and seeing how it grows. And I realized if I want to see how it grows, might as well contribute to the growing of it. So, Afrofuturism.
So, you say that you are so fixated about the future that to a certain extent you want to be prophetic about some of the things that might happen.
Yes, which is crazy because ever since Love Economy came out, there have been things that are like little symbols that have popped up in media that are from Love Economy. What was the tattoo? It was a famous magazine.
You sent it to me, right?
Yes. And like people are getting, like it's a trend now to get a tattoo of your partner's name by your neck. Out of all places, by your neck.
Okay.
And that is like a Love Economy thing, which was actually a reference to the branding of slaves. Yeah. But it's very interesting to see how little things just pop up and it's like, wait, are we actually headed in that direction? Because I hope we're not.
I mean, I think that would be very interesting.
It would.
Right?
Life or death.
Yeah, I mean, if you were able to see how much your partner loves you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think we all like to really know if the people that we are with love us and if their love is decreasing.
It's a dangerous one. Then it goes down by 1% and then back by 2%. The inconsistent.
Yeah, but then you must ask.
It's giving, you know, the meme of when a couple's asleep and the lady turns over and goes, baby, can we talk about this quickly, please? Just as you're about to fall asleep. That's just what it reminded me of. 1% drops, baby, can we talk? In the middle of the night, we have work tomorrow.
The percentage dropped.
Yeah.
What dropped?
What's going on?
Yeah. I feel like it would be very invasive. Because now also people know your business.
Yeah, really.
But people are already in your business, so.
Real, actually. Real.
Either way, yeah. Would you get a love meter?
I don't think so, hey. I don't know.
Would you get a love meter?
No, I would.
You
Really?
would?
Yeah, I would because
Wow.
because I love honesty and
Okay.
transparency.
Yeah.
Right. So if somebody's losing interest in me, right,
You wanna know?
You'd
I
wanna
need to know.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah, I don't need to like along the line and I'm like I need to see signs and whatnot. So
Yeah.
the love meter is very specific.
It is.
I can see, oh, okay, 20. Okay.
Yeah.
What Knowles wanted to say was that when the love meter goes down, do you fight for it? And like with Ruzan in the film,
Yeah.
because if the love meter goes to zero, she's gonna die.
Yeah.
So she's literally fighting for love and fighting for her life.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
We did explore, like, while we were developing the story, different ways of how it's going to show that she will die, essentially, what she has to do to try and save herself. Like, we really stuck on it for a really long time, and we were like, let's be cliche for a little second
I
and
don't
bring
think
in...
it was cliche.
No,
and bring
I
in
also don't think it was
not like
cliche.
heavily cliche, but
She
like
was fighting for her
Exactly, the
marriage.
poor girl.
I get that, but you have to in the way of, are we going to show her die for good, or are we going to...
Or bring her back, because we had to think about like the ending of the film, just the character. She's almost like a vessel for all the women she embodies, the women that choose to stay in these marriages. So what are we saying about women who choose to stay in those marriages and women who choose to leave? Are we saying that because you've left, you've chosen yourself, you deserve to die? No. So yeah, the ending.
Or she could have gone to another person and tried.
She
that was
could
also
have.
something we not necessarily looked into, but like, we were like, but there's always that, why didn't she do it? And we
Yeah.
were like, she chose herself.
She chose herself.
No, but
Yeah.
but I mean, she loves the other guy, right? And the person that she loves is not loving her back.
Exactly.
So obviously her love meter is gonna diminish.
Yes.
Right? Now going to another person, does that person love her back? So that maybe
Exactly.
it would the love meter would go up again.
Yeah, we were...
But I
yeah.
think how you guys handled it was very proper.
Thank you. What did you get from the ending? What did you think happened? Because someone came up to me and said, did she like take her own life? Did she choose to take her own life?
Who was that?
And then somebody said to me, did her batteries die?
You said that.
It was
You
my
said
sister.
that.
My sister was like, did she die? Like her batteries, did they die? Because the sound when she's like, yeah. What did you take from the ending?
Look, I love the ambiguity of it.
Yes.
Because the podcast is gonna come out before the
Okay.
yeah. So
No problem.
Alrighty.
we can have that after the session.
Noted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. But when you guys were, you guys came up with the concept, what were you guys, what was the point that you guys wanted to make about modern day dating? Or like about love in general?
Thinking back, because it seems very like broad, because like Ruzani is in a very situational place in her life. For me as a director, it was less about modern dating and more about how society sometimes ostracizes those who choose to love themselves or not go with the status quo. Because while doing it, there was a lot of research involved and finding out about, like, let's say women, like especially in Black communities, women who've been married for a long time and they're not happy in their marriages and they choose to leave. That presents a social death because they're now excluded from things. They're not invited to the lunches anymore. So it's like a social death, but let's literally bring that into like manifestation where Ruzani literally dies. So it was more so about the way like everybody has a lot to say about people's relationships. That time a relationship is just the two people involved and how that can manifest as a death in so many ways. So for me, it was a lot of commentary on that situation about that and how we view like what the perfect makoti is, because we have these two characters and we even have the other character played by Boiti that's like makoti mas Ruzani makoti mas wampekela, like she's telling her everything that she has to do, and these are things that are actually said to a lot of women, especially married women, even young married couples, that the responsibility of your husband's happiness lies on you and how you perform your duties, quote unquote duties. So that's something I wanted to explore, but also allow the audience to look at that, because we're not necessarily saying, that's why we have the other character and she's in a happy marriage, her love meter is very good, she's thriving, she's happy. And we're not saying that marriage is bad, relationships are bad, dating is bad. We're not saying that at all. It's just that we must examine how we fit into other people's relationships.
I think for me, what stood out for me about the concept, right? Just making a commentary like on the film, right? As somebody who believes in, transparency, right? I loved the metaphor that when you preach transparency, I mean, if we were able to, read your partner's thoughts, I think that would be dope, right? So that maybe my partner knows what I'm thinking, that the moment I start thinking of another girl, like, okay.
Yeah,
so
I see, yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was a very, very dope metaphor, in terms of the futuristic element of it, and being able to see when your partner's love diminishes. Because now when you like another girl's picture on Instagram or whatever, we can
Goes
see
down.
you liked that one. You like that one. So for me, the transparency, that's what stood out for me, when it comes to the film. Yeah. Jaclynn?
Forgot the question. Oh, the modern love.
Yeah,
what
what is
the
your
fil-
commentary on
Yeah.
dating and stuff?
It's a lot to think about it, but I
Like
think
briefly though.
no, I won't go into depth. There's a lot going on, but like, I feel like I'm just gonna repeat kind of what you touched on as well. But I kind of agree with the sense of it's that one person who doesn't, fits the norm of makoti mast and things like that, and I wouldn't say. It's not like, oh, she's different, but she kind of deals with this in a different way than a lot of other people would, just overall. And yeah, the words are being difficult for me to get into, but
no,
basically.
But I think I get what you're saying, because it kind of like, pits like women against each other, right? That now you must now start copying what other people are doing to kind of like keep their marriages together,
Yeah.
and
That's
their relationships together.
And on the parallel side, we have Zach, because we didn't want to put it as like, oh no, Zach, what like, Zach must also look at why he's in the situation that he's in. Why is he going outside when he has a wife? And it was also that whole thing of what pressures is he dealing with? What does it mean for him to be a husband in 2040? To balance a household where there's a standard of these are what the houses look like. Dogs are holographic now. You must get one for your wife. A car must, you see, what is he going through? Not to justify, his behavior, but also looking at the different pressures that what are these characters going through and how do they choose to cope with these different situations in their lives. Yeah.
No, I must say that I thoroughly enjoyed the film.
Oh, thank
you guys did an amazing job, right? And I'm sure you guys are looking forward to, entering into the film space. What does that look like for you in terms of like preparation of entering the industry?
It's a bit complicated because I guess like the industry is such a big term, but I guess if you're saying like industry as in like Mnet sets, SABC, I started there in 2023. 2023 is when I started like in the industry, working on these big sets. Then I realized that I want my own thing, and that's when I started my own production company. I registered, oh my word, I registered in the same year. Yeah.
Which year? Which year was that?
2023. It's called Serene Pictures.
Oh,
yes, I
okay.
registered in
Interesting.
2023. And then Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing because registering comes with such a big thing because nobody tells you as a
You're a boss
filmmaker
now.
how you do SARS, how you do that, how you keep your records. Nobody tells you these things. You just figure it out and everyone's gatekeeping. So yeah, I figured it out. I spent the first year doing admin and then that's when I started working with other filmmakers. Yeah. Right now we're looking into like commercials and social impact films. Actually shooting this Saturday. Very excited. Yeah. So I guess it's a very interesting term because I was speaking to a friend that has his own production company about like what does making it in the industry mean to you as someone with your own production company, and it's like bringing that company to the world into these bigger spaces where we have Cheza Pictures, Bendanian Productions, so entering those kinds of rooms. But I feel like it's such a like romanticized term. Like I want to go into the industry.
Everyone
Like and then you enter a film set, a big film set, and it's just like okay, now what is this the industry? Yeah. So I feel like, and even looking into where I want to go into the future, balancing my human rights work with my film work, I think just being in and out. I don't think I want to be a full-time freelancer because it's a lot. It's a lot, especially getting older with responsibilities and bills. Yeah. So for me, being in the industry is just like enjoying what you do, collaborating with people. I defined it as working with people I haven't worked with before on my film sets. And I guess I'm already at that point. So yeah, for me, it's a very open-ended question. Yeah, what about for you?
Jaclynn, do you also have like your own production company as well?
No, at the moment, I did listen. Like, I wasn't really able to push into film sets and things like that. The first time I stepped into university was the first time I ever was able to explore a film set and kind of. So I'm still pretty much developing into the director I want to be. I'm still looking at different things. Like Love Economy was completely new for me. And I've been doing that for the past 3 years now. So at the moment, I've been freelance photographing. Photographing, is that a word?
Freelance photographer.
Yes, thank you. But I'm a freelance photographer and I'm exploring what I'm doing there as well. Also means I'm playing with cameras for once, getting used to them. I edit my own photos, so I grade them, I play with them. So it's also exploring that. So I think my artwork is thank you. I'm also doing I draw. Open to commissions, guys.
Yo.
I'm a realistic.
You're doing a lot, eh?
Hey, she suggested it. I do realistic drawings and things like that. So I'm still building myself as a person. And sometimes I do worry that I feel like I'm going into it a bit late. But at the same time, it's not really too late. It really isn't ever too late. I'm still very young. I'm 21. There's so much time ahead of me. And I've had to realize that as well. So with the industry, yes, it is a question, but it's not something I'm trying to push myself into too early. I do know my own boundaries as well. But soon enough, hopefully, and then I get to learn there as well. Because I do believe being pushed into new spaces does help you learn. So, yeah, that's me.
Okay, I mean...
Before we go, so how I remember you said mom does photography. So how are you and mom collaborating, and how is she contributing to your journey? And you also mentioned artwork as well. So how are you meeting? How is AI meeting you in the way? Are you using those tools, or how's that process going?
Okay, so for the first one, my mom bought me my first camera. That was when I was in grade 8 already. But before that, I had my little digital one that I would just take. There were so many pictures me and my sister would just take of each other, things like that. Then I got handed my first camera, but I didn't touch editing with that as well. I only touched editing, I think, when I was in matric. And she sat me down with her laptop and showed me like how you do these things. And to this day still, she is criticizing me heavy. You can't do this right. you got did that right. You need to learn more on this. That sounds really harsh. No, I promise. It's very nice. It's very nice. My mom is a very, very soft person. She's very sweet. So imagine it as in like, you can't do that very well, so I need to teach you better, you know?
Thank you for contextualizing.
But no, she was the one who just kind of, because as I said, like I would go to air shows with her growing up, and she loves planes. So she would just go snap, 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 and I'd be sitting at board, you know. She'd go play with this, and then I'd play with it, and then it would look very bad, but I thought it was really, really, really good, you know. So yeah, she's very supportive on that. And then it's actually been a year now since I started actually doing gigs properly. So I've gotten into karting and stuff like that, and I feel like I've really excelled in that. But then I look back at the photos now, and I'm like, the color could have been upped a little here and there. Things like that. I also did some for Lions Rugby. Okay. So I was also playing there. Sia Khaleesi as well. Got some photos for him. Things like that. And I even skipped, unfortunately, I skipped Mother's Day for that. And my mom said I must go. I wanted to stay and be with her for Mother's Day. And she said I should go and bring back the bag. You know, it's good opportunities and stuff. But with my art, as you know this very well, I am not very big on AI. I am very scared of it. Not scared, but it kind of hurts me because I feel like it might be the basic answer of it's taking away jobs. But a friend of ours, our VFX artist actually for Love Economy, she commissioned a very personal drawing from me recently. And I felt so happy that people still want to do these type of things, get realistic artists to do the work for you, because if she really wanted to, she could have just put it in AI and said, put this together, make an artwork. But she trusted me with it. As much as it took so long, it took a lot of collaboration in the end, things like that, to get things as perfect as possible. It was so special to me. And I feel like it just gives people jobs, guys. It just gives people jobs, and it really hurts to see. Like, you know, there was the caricature.
Saves time, though.
Exactly. I get that, but look at the caricatures where everyone went, "Hey AI, so I did this work, this and this. Make a drawing." Now your face is plastered on a random AI film. Like, and they're mad about it. Like, I personally am not big into it at all.
I think there's good and bad sides of it, right? And I don't think we should really be like all doom and gloom. Oh, AI is the end of the world, right? I think we should take the good and leave the bad.
But don't be shy to also admit that you share the same sentiments as her.
You do.
No. I don't know. I used to share the same sentiments.
Yes.
Right.
What changed?
Until I had to kind of like look back and be like, oh, okay, where is the world right now? Right? Literally everything that you want is on the phone. The world is on the phone. You watch movies on the phone, right? We're just talking about it outside. That what's disturbing now is that when you're watching a movie on your phone, messages keep coming. So there's no way, right? There's no way you're going to focus on the films. So if the world is changing, how are you fitting in the world? You get what I'm saying? Because AI is here. People are making AI songs that are bangers. That are bangers that people are playing in the clubs. It's
very big one at that.
Bombastic side.
A very big one at that.
You know, but that's where we are when it comes to AI and progress and all of that. There is no going back.
We did learn recently. We had a scripts class, and we were shown how to use AI to kind of help you build it. And I was kind of like, you see, this works. But if I think back to a friend of mine who told me that she named her AI, her ChatGPT, she named it.
OT.
She named it, and she asked it to write birthday messages for her. She asked it to just talk about her day, and I'm like, you have your
once
friends.
got an apology letter from ChatGPT. I put it into AI and it said 100% AI, and I said, "Did you use AI?"
humans are losing human qualities.
Yeah.
They are not thinking for themselves, and that's what's bothering me is you're losing touch with yourself. You're not just losing touch with, hey, I could have just spoken to you about my day. You're losing touch from what you need to think as well. I mean, we were actually saying it in the car for fun. Like, we were just saying that it will give you an answer. You'll say, oh, I just cheated on my boyfriend. And AI will go, it's okay. You did it for yourself. You know, here's other ways you can do it, you know, and that's fine, you know. It just, and it, if you're going to ChatGPT for advice, I'm judging you.
Not everyone has it.
Why do you not have friends you can talk to?
But with sci-fi, right? It has been for the longest time speaking towards those things, and warning us that, you know, some of these things are gonna happen. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's good sides and there's bad sides.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right? All of these things, they used to be separate: TV, radio, and everything. But now everything is all in here, right? So we are all competing for the attention of the phone, right? So if people are not watching TV, they're going to watch verticals, they're going to watch YouTube and all of that. So how are we now then adapting to, you know, to this new age thing that's happening? It's all about adapting. AI is here, people are making songs, you know, but yeah.
I'd like to ask something. This is directed to you, right? So you mentioned that you're doing studies of human rights, right? So I'd like to know, how are you merging the two? Your directing element, how you building characters, is it also based on the studies, or how you building these characters in order to, it's like, feed both the human rights and the creative side? Because you also mentioned that you see things in pictures.
I do.
Yeah, so just take us through that.
So a lot of people, when they think about social impact films, human rights, they think documentary, you know, with the what they used to film about Africa, and then you have a heart there. That's what people think about when they say like South African social impact films. But you can actually go far with it. Like The Lost Ranger, the Oscar-nominated short film by Cindy Lee. Directed by Cindy Lee. It's amazing, and it's about it's about animal rights, but it's still a social impact film. So I want to change that stereotype of this is what a social impact film looks like. And it is something that I am quite new to, but I am merging it together. Like, I recently worked with Save the Children South Africa to create a short film on feeding children this festive season was last year. And it's basically bringing my theory that I learned from school and also how I work as a director, because I feel like contrary to popular belief, I don't really think you need to go to school to do film. I really don't think you need to go to school to do film.
Yeah.
I strongly, I really don't think, you just don't look at me as an honest student and think, like, I'm one of the people that really think, like, you don't need it. This is the opportunity to study, you know, for free and
But
stuff.
you know what my thing is with that?
Yeah.
I guess YouTube is the best university, right?
Yes.
But
It is.
think about yourself being in Limpopo, right? And not being exposed to AFDA as well. What would you say? Like, I feel like more people know what they want to do, but they don't know what to search for.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I assume as my responsibility with that, because like you were asking about merging human rights and my film theory and everything. It's in how I do things, practicing what I say. So now I'm saying children deserve access to quality education, right? For example, they have schooling education, but it also means art education. And then I'm here. Like, if they say, okay, go speak to a school, I'm going to a private school that already has drama as a subject, instead of going back home where they don't even have that as a subject. So it means that I have to now carry that responsibility and go back and actually implement what I say. In how I become a producer, road shows, actually making sure, because you can say, yeah, there's access to films in, let's say, Messina, but let's look at that, literally, logistically speaking, how many people have money? You're on your last money. Are you really going to go to a theater and spend it on that when your children at home don't have food? Now let's bring film to those communities, road shows. We have white sheet of cloth. Let's have a projector. Let's project the film onto there. It's free. And you're actually inspiring the next generation. So it also comes with how I go about doing things, the way I portray my characters. That am I, like, let's say I understand feminism theory, for example, and now I go cast a lead male and he's stereotypical and he's like a flat character. I wouldn't do that. So it's in how I carry my films, my characters, bring them to life and being aware, and also in how I treat them. Like, let's say I speak about like marginalized communities. Okay, what does that look like when you have a marginalized someone from a marginalized community on your set? How do you treat them? Are you going to be using this big film jargon and they don't understand what you're saying? No, you're like, oh, hang 10, what, and they don't understand what you're saying. It goes down to how I practice, and it's a big reason why I started Serene Pictures is because because also people have complicated encounters with like their first time in the industry, quote unquote, where it's a lot going on. Not everyone has positive stories. So I wanted to make sure that if you are working on my film set, your encounter is positive because of how we do things. Serene Pictures, that serenity. That means even down to how I treat my people on a film set when they say, okay, let's say we're dealing with grief and we're making a film focused on grief, and this person is telling me they're getting triggered, and I'm saying we have 5 minutes to get the shot. How do I handle that situation? I feel like that shows my understanding. So I implement human rights in how I go about my filmmaking journey, and hopefully that inspires other people to do the same.
No, most definitely. I know that I'm inspired, right? And I've taken a lot from what you just said, right? I'm also big on like marginalized communities, right? People living with disabilities and all of that. So I'm gonna take a page out of your book, and be able to bring that humanity in the film set.
Yes, exactly.
Azwi and Jaclynn, thank you very much.
Thank you
for coming. This was a enlightening conversation. But here at Brazen Black, we don't leave our guests empty-handed. Yes. Yes, something.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is just to say thank you very much, for coming, and that, keep being brazen, keep being apologetic, about your stories, keep telling African stories, that truthfully reflect, our communities. You guys have a bright future ahead of you. And yeah, we're looking forward to screening Love Economy.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it so much.
So yeah, that's it from us here at the Brazen Black podcast. So please, BBAFF'ies at home, do not forget that Love Economy will be screening live on YouTube on the 29th of May at 6:30. So please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends that Love Economy will be streaming. So from myself, Tebatso Mashishi, the black boy with the white skin, and the rest of the Brazen Black team, it's salute BBAFF'ies from all of us.